Unlock your mind, open your thinking. I got two wise ones, AZs, and my brother Dragon. You know what I'm saying? We gonna elaborate about the system and what we learned and how we became the people that we is now. But we wanna start off with AZs, the wise one, wiser one.
The warrior. Warrior mind. Well, my name is Aziz, and I am a brother to each and every human being on this planet. That's the way I see it. That's where I am right now. It wasn't always that way. I can tell you that right now because my perception was all inaccurate. And it was a reason why I was inaccurate. It wasn't because I wanted it to be inaccurate, it was because it was made to be inaccurate. When a person doesn't have accurate information, then his perception is going to be inaccurate. And then you're going to base your decisions off of inaccurate information. And then you're going to find yourself in a hole.
Disqualify themselves from the benefits of righteousness.
Come in again.
Disqualify themselves from the benefits of righteousness.
Now,
self-imposed.
Self-imposed. Now, so today I wanted to talk. There's so many different things that I wanted to discuss, but we're gonna stay on topic. We're gonna talk about the system that some of us brothers and sisters have found ourselves victim to, because that's what it is. It's victimization.
First, what system are you speaking on, big brother Z's?
We speaking on the system. We, yeah, we're speaking on. You gotta get situated. We're speaking on a system that is contrary to righteousness.
Contrary to righteousness.
Yes.
You mean like systems as far as like say penitentiary systems, or systems like say economic systems, or systems like say, I don't know.
We're talking about the value system.
Systems,
we're talking about the value system. I'm glad you asked
What's
that
the
question.
value system?
The value system is in America. Just from my perspective, the value system, I call it the American Value System, the AVS, and what that system is comprised of. It entails at the top of the pyramid. If we were to make a pyramid, at the very top would be the government.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of our value systems that supports society and civility. It's supposed to govern how we socialize, how our system functions. And then you come down the right side of that triangle, you have education, right? So education is the most fundamental thing, and it's the most important thing. If you don't have an education, ain't too far you can aspire to.
And or miseducation. Keep going.
Say that again.
And or miseducation.
Amen.
Miseducation. Yes. so education is one of our most valued parts of the system. We have to have education. When I was growing up, we was taught that if you don't have no education, then you ain't gonna get no good what?
No good work or good grade.
No good job.
Right. No work.
No work.
Right.
So this is the right side of the triangle.
Right. So
the first point is government. Second point is education and or miseducation.
Thank you for pointing that out.
And or miseducation. What's third point?
The third point is economics.
Uh-oh.
Right? Without economics, it ain't nothing. Because let me tell you something I learned. You remember Maslow?
Yes.
Maslow theory?
No, I don't remember that. I don't know Maslow theory.
You don't remember the Maslow?
It might.
Okay, Maslow was this psychologist, and he built this pyramid, and said from the bottom up, the most important thing to a human being, right? The most important thing to a human being is his appetite, not even the education. I hate to say that, but but his appetite, right?
Urges.
It's his urges.
What do you mean appetite, like food-wise?
Food-wise. We're talking about the necessities. We're talking about the necessities. What's the most
survivability?
Yes. What's the most important thing to a human being? His appetite.
Self-preservation.
Right. Self-preservation. Right.
Preservation.
Same thing in the animal kingdom.
Yep.
Right.
But we're not in the animal kingdom. We're in the human kingdom.
But we're in the human kingdom right now.
Animal kingdom matter though.
Right.
But we're not animals.
Right.
We're humans.
We're humans.
Sentient today.
Sentient beings. We have reasonability. We can ask questions. Animal ain't gonna ask you no questions. You just gonna eat your ass up. You look like devil.
More than instincts.
Right. And so economics is the most next, being able to Yeah, the third point of the pyramid is economics.
Government,
Right.
education, and/or miseducation, and economics.
In economics. If you don't have economics, how are you going to survive? How are you going to pay for your food? How are you going to pay for your necessities? How are you going to put food on your table? You understand? How are you going to take care of yourself in this system, this value system, right? And then the next point is religion. Now, this speaks to a man's faith, his spirit, his being, right?
Mm.
You get more points on that.
Go ahead, elaborate.
A pyramid, you know what I'm saying, is only 4 points.
Come on,
4
loud.
points.
A pyramid, it has 4 points at the bottom and 1 at the top. You see what I'm saying? But if you look at it, it only shows 3. You see what I'm saying?
And why is that?
Why is that? It's
Mhm.
perspective on how you're looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Your visual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The degree in which you're looking at something effective. You see what I'm saying? So the bottom of it has 4 points. He's saying that 3 at the top of it is government.
Right.
The second one, that point would be education and/or miseducation, which one was saying earlier, how the government can disqualify you from certain things by the way you write your name. Imagine, yeah, for real, you can disqualify yourself from the benefits of being a beneficiary of the trust and the trustee of your own stuff, your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then you're talking about economics.
Right.
So we're also getting social economics too, because there's a social aspect that needs to be, you know what I'm saying, put out there. And that's when you come religion and faith and things of that nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All these are identifiers that are gonna pretty much show you who and what you are and how you're gonna move around within this system in which he was talking about earlier.
Right. So that system is the model system in America, but it's a pseudo system.
And it's a 2-part too.
Go ahead.
By us being locked up, you know what I'm saying? We came from the dredges of society and got extracted out of society and put into jail. This is our punishment, is being extracted out of one thing and put in another. But this is a macrocosm of a microcosm, and vice versa. It's just a society within a society.
Right.
All right, come at him again. Come at that. Bring it back again.
Bring that back.
Yeah, bring it back. They
Okay.
need to hear that.
In society, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, like, you have the government, you got education, you
Mhm.
got work, things of that nature. This is just a smaller thing being in prison. You know what I'm saying? We got our own ways and rules. You know what I'm saying? You got your work. You know what I'm saying? You got your education. You got your value systems. You got your group of individuals over here. Same thing, is just smaller.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this. Imagine you got a miniature you in the dead center of you, and say that is you, who you are, who your will is. Right?
Right. Right.
And the more you feed this, the bigger that wheel is going to be.
Willpower.
It's the same thing with the macrocosm systems. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
give a comparison. Go ahead.
Right. So anyway, what I was alluding to is this: is that it's okay. Understanding the system in which you're in is the most important thing.
And amount of growth.
If you don't know, how can you grow? If you don't know the ins and outs,
Qualifiers.
the qualifiers that constitute, that creates this thing,
The
then
rhetorical devices.
right, how you gonna escape it? How you gonna escape it? And it becomes hell for people. And that's the thing. And a lot of people don't like to
I'll keep going.
a lot of people don't like to acknowledge this because they're so distracted from everything else.
Hold up.
Hey. Anyway, this is a we have ghosts knocking at the door, but
They're everywhere, I tell you.
yeah, but
You
these
know,
this
princes and principalities, it ain't gonna be bullets and bombs no more. Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna cut it short, but we're gonna come at y'all again a little later, sometime soon, somewhere.
Jump time.
Unlock your mind, open your thinking. I hope y'all receive this wisdom, this knowledge,
These rhetorical devices.
and this understanding.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I got my brother Aziz right here and my guy Dragon. Say y'all peace where y'all go.
Peace.
Amen. Peace and blessing to each and everyone under the sound of our voices, man, and strive today for patience and gratitude.
And here go the words of wisdom in closing. Accept your own and be yourself. That's an African proverb.
Say that shit again.
African proverb. Accept your own and be yourself.
Amen.
Amen.